Welcome to the Impactful Entrepreneur Show with Adrienne Hill, a place for online business industry expertise and thought leadership, where you can build the skills, structure, and systems you need to thrive in business and have a lasting impact in your industry. Let's do this.
I'm excited to have her here. Her name is Adrienne Hill. And Adrienne Hill, a little background on her, she has a career initially that was built in corporate, managing multi-million dollar launches for Fortune 500 companies. She has channeled that experience into creating and building a very structured, systematized approach to building your own brand on social media. She is using her own proprietary system that she has created an instant audience with for thousands of people. And she's built a six-figure business in only 6 months. She now focuses on helping new and emerging entrepreneurs to build the skills, structure, and systems they need to set up and activate their six-figure social media sales machine on their own. Guys, Adrienne's very passionate. You're going to see that in her conversation with me. She loves helping coaches, course creators, network marketers, affiliate marketers, basically you, to help you make use of your limited time while building the income that you desire. Okay. So one of the things that she loves to do is hike, fish, travel, having outdoor experiences with her husband. She's got adult children and she has got a golden retriever puppy. What's your puppy's name, Adrienne? I don't think I know that.
His name is Ollie.
Ollie. Oh. And he doesn't look like a puppy. I've seen him before. He's a big dog.
Well, he's 2.5 now, but for me, they're puppies until the day they die.
Okay, very good, very good. Well, thanks for coming on. And I know I just gave this whole formal introduction of who you are, but in your own words, if you can share with everyone listening, just briefly, your background and your transition from corporate America to what you're doing now, like what fueled that pattern, that pathway for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, guys. I'm so excited to be here with you. I call Sherelle my business bestie, and we're always hanging out behind the scenes. So it's so nice to be here helping you guys because I'm obsessed with getting you results, right? So I actually, like Sherelle said, I started in corporate America and it was slowly killing my soul to be there, if I'm just being really honest. In the beginning, it was really good. A lot of what I learned there prepared me to be effective in what I do now. So it wasn't all for naught, right? Like it was still a good experience. I built a lot of important skills, but I just knew deep down, I'm an entrepreneur. This whole corporate grind is not for me. Like it was slowly killing me. And so I knew there was just something inside of me that knew I had to do more. And I got to a point, there was like this breaking point for me where my corporate job, they were laying people off every 3 years like clockwork. So I couldn't count on my job. I couldn't count on that income. It was not guaranteed. At the same time, I was single mom in it, right? So I was the sole source of income for the household. So it was really stressful to know that I could just lose that income at any time. And then on top of it, right around that time, I lost both of my parents, one at 21 and one at 30. So by the time I was 30, I was completely on my own. I had no support system. I had no support network. My job wasn't guaranteed. My income wasn't guaranteed. And I knew I was an entrepreneur deep at heart. I knew I was made for more than just 9 to 5 grind until the day I died. Yeah. And I really wanted to build a safety net because I was just in a super high risk position. So for me, initially, I started in network marketing. That's kind of where I think of network marketing as like the training ground. You learn so many amazing things there, what to do and what not to do sometimes, right? And so I started in network marketing and it was really all about building that safety net. And then it just continued to evolve. I started moving into value-based marketing, affiliate marketing. I started creating some online courses because as I was filming all these trainings for my downline, I looked at them and I'm like, oh, I could sell these to people, I think, right? So, and then I started moving into course creation and eventually into coaching. And so I've kind of done a little bit of all of it. But at the heart of it, because I started in network marketing, like I have a heart for the network marketers and the direct sellers out there who are looking for a better way to build. And I've noticed there's a trend with the gurus, the experts, whatever you want to call them out there, there's like two groups of coaches out there. Okay. And this really frustrates me. So I'm going to get on my soapbox for a hot minute. Okay.
Give it.
The first group of coaches that work with network marketers, they teach all the standard, like tap out your warm market until it's dead and then beat the dead horse kind of thing, the stuff that ruins your brand.
That's right.
And they don't teach real marketing because they think it's too hard to learn.
Mm-hmm.
They just teach you, like, use these copy paste scripts and go into massive action phases and just all these things that just frankly don't work. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then there's another group of coaches who teach real marketing, right? They teach how to set up effective funnels. They teach you how to have real success. But the minute a network marketer approaches them, they're like, no, I don't work with network marketers.
Truth.
And I'm like, someone has got to bridge that gap. And so I will happily work with people on both sides of the fence. And honestly, underneath all of it, even though I spent a lot of time with coaches and course creators as of lately, my heart is still with those network marketers. And I'm like, you know what? You can learn real marketing. You can use real funnels. It's not too hard. And don't listen to anyone who tells you that it is.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you. And thank you for serving our community. You and I both are network marketers to the heart, to the core, and you're absolutely correct. And the thing that is the greatest challenge for the course creators, for the coaches that, and the reasons why they don't service network marketers is because traditionally our group don't have business background. The majority of us do not have business background. We are friends and family, right? Seeing an opportunity, but may not necessarily have that. And I'm talking about the majority. I'm not talking about the exception, but the majority don't. And so who's going to take the time to actually teach these strategies? And even right now, I mean, you're using terminology that people listening may not understand. You're saying funnel. And what is a funnel? So let's start there and let's just make this very basic. Can you just share with the audience, what is a funnel, Adrienne?
Yes, absolutely. And I really am interested in defining this for you guys, because I think a lot of network marketers hear the word funnel and they think it's high tech, it's complicated, it's going to be too much to understand. And even if I figure it out, there's no way it can duplicate to my downline. So most network marketers just reject the idea of funnels, okay? Because they have this misconception of what it is. So at the heart of a funnel, let's just break it down to its simplest definition possible. It's simply a repeated number of exposures to information. That's it. A repeated number of exposures to information. Now, those exposures, they could happen manually, they could happen in a semi-automated way, or they could happen in a fully automated way. And sure, there's some funnels that are really high tech and complex, but there are some funnels that are super, super simple. And there's absolutely no reason you can't be using those, because I know you guys have probably heard, what is it, the sales statistics? It's like the 12th contact when, 98% of people make the purchase or something.
Right.
And we're all told the fortune's in the follow-up, you gotta follow up and all those things. Well, if you think about the definition of a funnel, that it's simply a repeated number of exposures to information, you're probably realizing, oh, well, I do that.
You do it already.
I do that already, right? It's just that the funnel that you're currently using probably isn't super effective, and you probably just need to upgrade it a little bit, right? You can absolutely run a fully manual funnel, and it can recruit like crazy. It can get you customers like crazy. It's just the problem is that the funnels that most network marketers are taught are not very effective.
And they're out of date.
Like I can't tell you how many network marketers I talk to. They're like, oh yeah, I have a follow-up plan for people that I talk to. And I say, okay, how do you keep track of the people? Well, I have a notebook, or I put them in an Excel sheet. I have a recipe box. I have and it's so there's so many holes in their funnel that they're losing people like crazy because it's not very buttoned up.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, okay, at each touch point, exactly what are you sharing?
Right.
Well, I don't know. And it's like really
Yeah.
loosey-goosey.
Yeah.
If you have a super buttoned up funnel where you know it's 10 steps, I go through step 1 through 10. Here's exactly what I say. Here's exactly what I give them. Here's exactly what I invite them to. You'll get better results. You simply have to have it buttoned up and streamlined. And instead of it feeling loosey-goosey, like, well, I kind of make it up as I go along and I write it in a notebook and I pray and hope that I'm not going to forget to follow up with Susie from 2 weeks ago who,
Yeah.
she slipped through the cracks. Like, you know, most of us have really messy funnels and we don't even realize.
Well, the funnel, there's like two different types of funnels too, because you're talking about the follow-up funnel. So you've got, which most of us are familiar with in network marketing, you've got your front end funnel where you're building, you know, you're bringing in traffic. The traditional way is, okay, you bring in traffic or it's friends and family. And then you show them the plan, right? You present, and then you've got an invitation, the presentation, and then there's like a 3-way call, and then there's follow-up, right? Validation, then follow-up. And so it's the follow-up funnel that you're talking about, which has never, ever worked. And it's interesting because as a leader in network marketing and in my team building, coming from what I always call the legacy network marketing leader, I'm one of them.
Me too. I was taught all the old school ways.
And I teach it, right? I was teaching it. But the issue is, when you have the notebook of names or the Excel sheet of names, the idea has always been to look for leaders within the book, right? Or whatever the list that you created. But the minute that you find a leader, what do? You have them create a list and then you start mining their list. So you vacate your list. There's never, and if you're having success in business, there's never time to go back to your list because you're always looking for new leaders and mining their list. So this hole that Adrienne's talking about, that hole has always been there. And there's this idea that you just don't, you follow up. But at some point you don't have time to follow up if you're having success. And that was my story.
And also, I think
you're doing well. I don't have time for follow up.
Right. Even from the very beginning, my funnel looks very different. So for example, I never write down a list of prospects and I never ask my people to do that. They come to me. My prospects put themselves on my list. I don't put them on a list. They put themselves on the list.
Yep. Well, so that leads me to another question. Before I get to that question, I want to just let's hammer this in. Yeah. You're saying it, but I want everybody to hear this. The question is, Adrienne, can funnels work for network marketers?
Absolutely, 100% yes. Yes.
Thank you. And
they can be simple. You can set up your funnel in 1 day or less, and you can duplicate it to your downline effectively.
All right. You heard it here, you guys.
Yeah.
So now you're starting to talk about the idea that individuals are coming to you inside of the funnel, and there's a terminology for that. Can you talk about what that is? What's been created that allows that to happen?
Yeah. So we've all heard the term network marketing, right? And I think as network marketers come in, we're all taught that it's all about networking. It's about who you know, and it's about who you know, who they know, and it's all about networking with all the people on social media. But no one teaches marketing because it's network marketing, is it not? So most uplines, maybe because they don't understand it themselves, or maybe because they think it's too complicated, I'm not really sure why, but they don't teach marketing. Or, like what I like to use is attraction marketing. And here's another thing that just kind of like grates on my nerves. I can't tell you how many leaders out there I see, what they're saying is that they teach attraction marketing, but they don't teach attraction marketing. They just use that term because it sounds really good. Mm-hmm. And they're not doing it.
What are they doing?
So I teach what I call the viral invitation post.
Okay.
And so what this is, it's attraction marketing. So at the heart of attraction marketing, there's curiosity and desire. If you're creating curiosity and desire in the people who are looking at your content, they're more likely to engage with it, right? Because like, let's say that you're kind of hinting at like, hey, I lost, 10 pounds in 1 month and it was all came from belly fat, but I didn't change my diet and I didn't exercise. People are going to be like, wait, the what now? Like, how did you do that? They're going to comment, how does this work? Tell me more. Where did you get this thing? Like, you really didn't change your diet? Like they're going to be commenting because you've created curiosity and desire.
Well, yeah, you kind of just did that for me right now. I'm like, is there such a product that exists?
There is actually. I can tell you about after the interview.
After this, yeah, that works.
And it works, right? But at any rate, like curiosity and desire. And so if you love this idea and you're not familiar with it, you really need to research copywriting. Copywriting is the art of like phrasing things in such a way that people are like, what? And they practically beg for more information. You'll get comments of people being like, yes, I need this. I want this. Tell me more. Where do I get it? How much does it cost? Like, I just made a post last Wednesday on my personal profile, got 122 comments of people saying, yes, give me this. Yes, tell me more. Yes, I want it. So 122 people put themselves on my list from one post. Now, when that starts to happen, business feels a lot more fun, number one. Number two, you never have to send out another cold message ever again. There's no like, hey, how you doing? Oh, your kids are awfully cute. Like, hey, do you want to buy my stuff? Like, you don't need to do that anymore. So the first step in a good funnel, right? If we talk about a funnel, it's shaped like that for a reason. Tons of people at the top, fewer people at the bottom. But what's the best way to get the most people possible at the top? Create something viral that has curiosity and desire at the heart of it. Then as you start interacting with those people and leading them through your funnel, customers and recruits and reps are going to come out the bottom, right? So first step first is always attraction marketing. And my favorite type is the viral invitation post. So all these people put themselves on your list. Then I use what I like to call the book to call funnel. Okay. And so that's why this book to call funnel that I use, that's how I earned 6 figures in 6 months. And I know Sherelle shared that when we first started talking, but what I want to encourage you guys with, prior to those 6 months, I had 6 years of struggle. It's not like I started my business and had immediate success. Like, I rode the struggle bus to hot mess city more than once. Okay. And that's part of how I learned to fine tune my marketing. And by learning what not to do, I learned what I should do. Right. And so if you've been riding the struggle bus, don't feel discouraged. You can absolutely turn this around. Okay. If I did it, you can do it. So the first step is that viral invitation post. Then there's that 6-figure book to call funnel. And the magic is, I know a lot of network marketers are taught, like, reach out to people, start a conversation, and then send them a link to your website. And here's why you never want to do that. The average website, when you're just sending a link to a website, the average web page, regardless of what it's selling, it could be a high ticket offer, it could be a low ticket offer, like, it doesn't matter. Web pages themselves, typically, like industry standard, they convert to sales anywhere from 2 to 10% of people who land on the page. And that's just normal. So if you're working really, really hard to find people to talk to, let's say you find 100 people to talk to, and you send them a link to your website. I mean, 100 people, when was the last time any of you really had 100 people to talk to all in 1 week? Maybe never, right? But let's just pretend you have 100. You send them all a link to your website. Only anywhere from 2 to 10 of them would make a purchase. Now, if you're trying to scale to 6 figures, how many hundreds upon thousands of people are you going to have to talk to? The conversion number is just too small. It just doesn't make sense. But with a book to call funnel, anywhere from 10 to 80% will convert.
And what's a book to call funnel?
A book to call funnel is, instead of relying on a web page to sell the thing, you're getting on the phone with someone on Zoom like this, and you're having a real conversation between 2 people. right? And instead of like a typical web page, the reason it only converts at 2 to 10% is because it's relying on world-class marketing and copywriting. And most pages don't have world-class marketing and copywriting. But when you get on the phone with someone, you're not relying on marketing and copywriting, you're relying on relationship building, right? You're building a relationship with that person. You're showing up as a real human, listening to them, talking with them, trying to honestly help them improve their life somehow. And that's why the conversions can get upwards of 80% if you're hopping on the phone with someone. Now, what a lot of people struggle with is like, well, yeah, that sounds great. And I would love to do that, but I can't get anyone to comment on my post, much less get on the phone with me. Right? So that's why that viral invitation post is so critical in this process of, like I had 125 people comment on my post last week.
Yeah.
If you have the right funnel steps following those initial comments, you'll get at least, 25 to 50% of those people booking a call with you.
So people that have zero engagement on their posts, the answer to that, you're saying book to call funnels will work even with people who have zero engagement on their posts?
No, they really do need to find a coach who can teach them attraction marketing.
Oh, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. To be able to create the posts that you're talking about.
Correct. So you can front load the top of that funnel as much as possible. Mm-hmm. Right? You have to know what to say to get people in a viral sense, being like me, tell me more, I want this, where do I get it, where do I buy it, right?
Yeah.
And so it fills the top of your funnel.
So, that brings me to another question, which I think is an important discussion to have really quickly that I'm going to insert here, because there are people who are listening who they want to make money now. They're like, I want success now. I want to make money now. And because they weren't taught they weren't taught the marketing of network marketing, the front end feels large, feels like a lot of investment of time, feels like so much learning. I mean, how quickly can someone learn marketing and start creating a social media funnel?
If they're given the right templates, the right copywriting templates, you can have a successful viral post within one day. Right? So in the beginning, before I always noticed early on in my network marketing business, every so often, I would make a post that would get lots of engagement. And I thought it was a fluke. I was like, well, this is lucky, like, ooh, right? And it felt good. And I thought I was just getting lucky. Turns out I was accidentally using some good fundamental marketing, and I just didn't realize it at the time. Yeah. And so as I started researching and learning and getting coaching myself, and I realized I learned this skill that I'm now able to do on purpose rather than on accident. What I did is I boiled down all the best copywriting templates that I could find. So it's not a script, you can't copy and paste it, but it is a template, meaning like you fill in the blanks, kind of like a Mad Lib. Okay. So if you have a handful of these templates, anywhere from, depending on how quickly you learn, within a day or up to a week or two, you can absolutely start having viral posts of your own. You just need the right fill in the blank templates, copywriting templates. Mm-hmm.
So I'm hearing three things are needed here. I'm hearing there's a need for an understanding in marketing. Mm-hmm. There is you need a funnel, mm-hmm. a simple funnel that you can create in one day.
Simple. Mm-hmm. And here's the magic part of this funnel. So you make a post, there's a bunch of messages that happen, and then there's a phone call, mm-hmm. right? So what happens with these bunch of messages, right? So there's a very specific sequence of messages that you send to someone that will drive them to not just like be okay with booking the call, but they are running to book this call with you. They are begging to book the call by the time you send the final message. Okay. And the magic is the minute they book the call, they are given like a free training that they have to review before the call. Okay. It's what I call it's like a dynamic PDF. It's like a 5 or 6 page document that Honestly, you can create it on Canva in a day. It's not anything crazy. Okay. And the only rule is they have to review the document before the call. Okay. Now, why this document? This is what allows it to actually scale to 6 figures. This document covers success stories that either you or your upline or your downline or your sideline or someone in your company, it doesn't even matter who. It reveals success stories, results that people have gotten, the unique method or system or funnel that your team uses, right? What makes you unique? The fact that if you start using this method, of course, that you and your team uniquely, like you want to stand out as unique because you're one of thousands of people selling the same product, that your team is unique, that you guys use a unique funnel, that you guys use unique viral marketing. Mm-hmm. And that, if someone follows your team's funnel, they can absolutely have that level of success that all those success stories showed. Once they consume all that information and they're so revved up about what they saw, by the time they get on the phone with you, they're basically begging to be enrolled into your company.
That's it right there.
And that's it. That's what allows it to scale to 6 figures.
That's phenomenal. And I can't see why anyone listening right now would not take advantage of the 80% return that one would get from a book to call funnel. I mean, yes, that's where we all want to be. That's where we all want to be.
Yeah.
So what is, Adrienne, if you could leave the listeners with one thing today, like a single action that they can do today, what would that be?
Yeah. I would say the most important fundamental thing you can do to turn your business around as fast as possible is to find a coach who actually teaches real attraction marketing, right? And you can there's a lot of people who say they teach it and they don't. It has to be built on the foundation of curiosity and desire, right? And ideally, if you can find someone who has copywriting templates that you can start using as you're new, because in the beginning I used templates until it clicked, and I just then after a while I didn't need the templates anymore because it was just part of how I was thinking now. But in the beginning, you kind of need some templates, right? So you have to, if you find a coach who can teach you attraction marketing and can give you copywriting templates to use until your brain starts thinking that way, that's the fastest way to turn things around. And then it's just a matter of take anywhere from a day to a week. I've seen it done in as quickly as one day, or if the person's busy and juggling life, 1 week, right? To build out that funnel and that very special document that you give to someone that they have to review before the call. Honestly, even if you skip the whole funnel thing and all you do is you figure out the attraction marketing, it's going to dramatically change your business.
Yeah, there it is. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Adrienne. I know you guys just got an earful and action steps to take because she made it very clearly. She gave you a very clear path of what's next. If you're struggling in business and you're looking to find the right people for your business, creating a funnel is a great way to move people from your social media page into your Zoom link or whatever creation that you use or whatever platform you use to get in front of people. But the bottom line is the relationship is what's going to seal the deal in connecting with people.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Impactful Entrepreneur Show. If you found amazing value here, subscribe, and leave us a review to help other people find the high value content that we share, and find us on social media so we can continue the conversation. See you in the next episode.